Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. From the deepest jungles to the outmost reaches of space and beyond the veils of death itself, the Bald and Bonkers Boys are back for another episode. It's no secret that you won't know what will happen next, but Dakota Franson and Chris Mould promise that all bets are off. Viewer discretion and straitjackets advised. These two idiots live up to the name.
Yes! Cocksucker motherfucker!
Yes, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
lazy goddamn son of a bitch!
He's got technical problems, ladies and gentlemen, with his microphone. I think he's been going to sites that he shouldn't have been. I personally think this is his problem.
Twitter.
Oh shit! You noticed that? You went and changed your name there, yeah?
I fucking noticed that. You cocksucker!
It's revenge. It's sweet and it's swift.
Revenge for what?
You changed mine. You change my name all the time, and you don't like it.
I haven't done that in a long time. What are you talking about?
You don't like it. You don't like it.
Oh, what? I don't know what you are talking about. I have never done so.
Dots, before we start the show tonight.
Can anybody actually hear Chris? No, seriously, I can't hear you now. Am I the only one that... Can anybody else in the chat hear Chris? No, I'm serious. Yeah. See? You're muted. You're muted. See, this is what happens when you leave old people to technology. I should not be letting him touch anything around here. He keeps fucking things up.
Am I here now?
Now you are.
I'm back again.
No, I think you are. Yeah. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me? Pete! Can you hear me, Pete?
Well, what was weird is the yellow was still popping up around your backs.
Talking about something, this is interesting, and I want to bring this up. Pete put a picture of waffles on the X place, because I was.
I can't hear you. And what's weird is that it's showing the yellow box around your end, showing that you.
I'll back out and then I'll come back in again. Fuck's sake. It's not letting me out. My screen's just went all totally blank.
Oh, you little furry bastard! God damn. I sprayed this cat with water, but unfortunately he fucking likes it.
Can you not hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
I don't know what's going on with your mic.
What do you mean it's going with my mic?
And he's gone. See, once again, the yellow box is popping up like you're saying something. But I can't believe that actually worked. So, how the hell are you, ladies and gentlemen? We're not even 5 minutes in, and Chris has already been tricked out of kicking himself out of the show because I turned down his mic.
Jesus, no, it's fucking holy. There's two to Francis.
Did you get that fixed? Did you get that fixed?
Bobby can hear me now. Look, it's called me you. For fuck's sake.
I know, I'm switching it. Yeah, because it calls me because
Christy
I'm the one that pays
Sue.
for the
What the
fucking
fuck?
account.
What the hell's
Oh.
Christy? For fuck's sake, Christopher.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, that was me fat fingering. That one was on me.
Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, aye. So, son of the naked Bigfoot, Pete, the man himself. You were making waffles the other day. What was the maple syrup you were using? It was like a big line in the front, and it was King syrup or something. Looks really good. You know, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the strange and unknown zone. Do not adjust your laptops or smartphones. It's just us idiocies. Dakota's madness. This is the Twilight Zone. You're not.
If only we could have like a Bald and Bonkers Twilight Zone crossover. Wouldn't that be nice? I see his lips moving, but no sound coming out yet again.
Okay, I'll just turn my phone up. Fuck it. Fucking no. Fucking testing.
Now we can hear you.
Well, I can hear it on my phone. I can hear myself on the phone. Dick. He's a dick, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking for a new co-host.
No, I'm the one that runs this company. You're out.
Nope. We're going to have a vote. All the subscribers. Let's vote on a new co-host. Right, Pete. Do you want to be my new co-host in Bald and Bonkers? I think Pete would make a great co-host.
No, I think you could find yourself your own damn account if you go off on your own.
It's a joke for fuck.
That's all. Okay. Nah, I'm fucking saying.
He's so titsy, isn't he? Titsy. There's a new word.
Titsy.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Right.
Yours look bigger than mine, motherfucker.
Yes, but I like to fondle. You know.
Does
the purple one's out of space. The purple ones. Kenny was going on about that. I don't know what's going on. Emerald Isle Paranormal jumping in to say hey, cracking on to the video. She was awaiting investigations yesterday, and she's got some amazing evidence. She's doing all her her ghostly things. Thank you for coming, Jenny. Dakota keeps breaking everything, you know. You wacky boy, Dakota. Yes, Dakota is wacky, you know. So, question. What's any world news and any world events that's happening? Have you seen, before we go into the subject for the night, have you seen the crazy weather in Greece?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, have you seen how much rain? There's actually parts of Greece that they say will turn into lakes and never dry up.
Yeah, it's getting that bad over there.
Mm-hmm. My niece Rebecca, she's away to Greece, but I think she's in a different part. And it's absolutely roasting. It's nearly like 40 Celsius. Ooh, I know.
I mean, yeah, I've heard it's an absolutely beautiful area. I've always wanted to visit Greece myself, but nevertheless, it doesn't sound like much of Greece is going to be left over.
Jenny is tired and grumpy.
Well, that's what happens with old age.
Oh, right, Jenny. Feel free to execute him at dawn. I don't think she's even going to wait to dawn. I think she's just going. I'll tell you something. You better watch yourself. By the way, that's terrible. By the way, that's honestly.
Did you know if you actually run Jenny's face through a female to male filter, it brings out you?
That's because I'm handsome, and I look like handsome people all around the world. You know. But anyway, you're going off the subject.
Whatever you say, Grimace. Well, yeah, you do it all the fucking time. I'm the one that has the fucking issue when you do it all the fucking time.
Relax. I think Dakota needs to relax, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about Greece, right? And I know you want to go there because of all the big handsome men covered in like lard and all that kind of stuff, and you're into that kind of thing. But don't worry. You'll get there one day. Now, Greece is where they.
That's your fucking fantasy.
Greece no? What was Greece famous for? What was Greece famous for again? And I'm not talking about them. No, it wasn't the Romans. What was that? It was what was that? It was a
It was
the Romans were
sex.
there. No, but it was famous for something else. It was famous for something else. Was that no where Spartans were meant to come for?
Yeah.
No, aye. It's like that film. What is it called? 300.
300.
You know? Aye, that's a great film. That, and then the one after that.
But Greece, trust me, Greek chicks.
It's all coming out now, ladies and gentlemen. So, any Greece chicks in the chat tonight? Dakota is free. Is single. Please contact Bald and
I dated
Bonkers.
a chick that was half Greek and half Italian. She slept around.
But anyway, what do you think is causing all this weird weather?
Oh man.
Do you think it's manipulation?
Well, it could be a side effect of manipulation when you really think about it. I mean, fuck up the weather in one area, the balance has to equalize throughout the rest of the planet. So if you were to say, focus much of energy in like Hawaii, you could get some side effects in Greece you don't intend. It's all about balance, and that's the problem with this weather manipulation technology. That balance is getting disrupted on the regular, so we don't know what's going to come out. Wasn't it in Greece that I think a winery got busted open from all the flooding, and it's literally a flooding wine down the streets?
I seen that. I'm going to say, Jenny, if you're still there was this. Jenny likes wine, and she really likes her wine. And there was this big vats. I mean, ginormous vats, right? A wine, Jenny, right? And there must have been like 500 gallons in each vat, right? And one of them get punctured, right? And it was actually a tidal wave going down the road of wine.
I imagine
there was folk in it. There was folk lying in it with their mouths open.
Yeah.
There was actually folk in it. There was folk putting up buckets in it and stuff and drinking it.
Might as well.
I might as well. But here's the
thing.
They're
just helping disaster relief efforts.
Last week, not the week before, all the cars were covered in this weird grime, right?
They were covered in this weird sand from the Sahara.
Like, they were saying it was sand from the Sahara, but I went and did the thing. It was on TikTok, and I didn't believe it until I went and did it. I've got a wee magnet on my car keychain with my torch, and I get my card, my AA card, my breakdown card out, and I scraped it into a wee pile off the window, and I put the magnet on, and it all stuck to the magnet. Now, some people will say, aye, that's, what you call it, there's iron in the Sahara Desert, but there was actually a guy that put it through this computer device. Do you know what else was in it? High levels of uranium.
Mm-hmm.
There's
natural uranium deposits throughout that area.
Aye, but there was more uranium. It's this guy that did a test. If you had to take a mug of sand, right, for the Sahara and test it, there would be something like 5 million particulates of uranium, right? Mm-hmm. But you take even a gram of the stuff that was on top of the cars, right? And there was something like 25 million particulates of uranium. And that's no right. There's something going on there. What's that there? I'm here, yes, Lo. Where's my snorkel?
Jenny. Careful. A friend of my mother's just died snorkeling.
Really?
Literally.
Oh my God.
Apparently, all we know, she was in Hawaii before Lahaina happened. She was snorkeling and just underwater.
It must have, what's the word? It must have been, the air must have just stopped getting down or something.
She just stopped. They're not exactly sure how she died.
Oh, I've got scenarios there in my mind probably, because I've noticed a lot of people running about me lately just dropping down dead.
She didn't
have it.
No. That's the first thing I asked too.
I get told an interesting thing the other day, right? And this is really interesting. Somebody told me this. And I think it's this month or it's next month, McDonald's and all the major food products, people out there getting like Burger King and that, they're going to be doing a special.
And they're selling their burgers for pennies.
for pennies.
For pennies.
Don't eat it.
I know.
Don't eat it. And
I
they'll be
know.
like, are you mad? I could go with $1 and I could get 3 burgers. Don't eat it. Because I bet you there's something in that meat. Or there's something in it.
Or, well, what do you got to take into consideration, anytime a restaurant usually does those types of specials,
Mm-hmm.
it's because whatever's in the special is about to expire and they
That's
need to
very
get
true.
rid of it.
Yeah, but it's you
I'm
think
just saying
I
that's
learned
a
in
more likely scenario.
Here's an interesting fact, and you probably ken this, Dakota, because I ken that you're into this kind of stuff. But I was actually talking to somebody that works for the Food Standards Agency one day, and we were talking about McDonald's French fries, and he was actually telling me the process. She came the day with it. I bet this is shocking, by the way. You see, you ever noticed with McDonald's French fries are perfect? Every one of them.
Yeah, there's also formaldehyde in it.
Yes. When they take the potatoes, they put them in a barn, and it's a special barn with no windows, no doors, no that. And they pump gas, toxic, that's weird chemicals, and they leave it there for like a week. Then they bring them out, and the potatoes perfect, and then they rinse it off, and then chop it into chips and serve it to you. And they say it's safe levels when you eat it. So don't eat it.
Just ask the number of parents who go to clean out their back seat of their vehicle and they have small children. They find all those old McDonald's French fries that been there for months on end,
Yeah,
but look like they're freshly out the damn store.
Yep. There's Dobby Socks saying sorry to hear about your relation there. I mean, look, honestly, see when they're doing like deals like that, 3 burgers for like $1, please, for the love of God, don't eat them.
Shouldn't be
All the
eating it in
homeless
the
will be
first
lining up.
place.
All the homeless will be lining up stuffing burgers into their faces. Look,
Probably
they're
shouldn't be
starting to
eating
put.
it in the first place, but hey.
Well, I'm an advocate for obviously against the you know what in your arm kind of thing that's been going out. And so is a few people in the chat there, and they're starting to put it into people's food now. And what's to say that they're not putting it into the burgers before they serve them?
I mean, there's actually a museum exhibit that's literally just a Happy Meal from, I think, like 15 years ago.
And it's still
the damn thing still looks good.
Yeah. It's fucking joking. It's crazy. It's the chemicals. You think about how high the cancer levels in the world have risen in the last, say, 30 years, 40 years.
Well,
You think
all the
about,
chemicals they're putting
I'm
in
lucky. I'm drinking today. I'm drinking Lucozade Energy, right? There's 0 aspartame in that, right? Since I stopped drinking sugar-free drinks, I've been feeling better. That aspartame, no, that's poisonous. I'm not drinking it again. Yeah, I mean, you think all the people, and it's Dots MC, the coincidence, but you think about all the people that with cancer that went skyrocketing, right? I think it's to do with these food product companies. I think a lot of what they're ever using in their stuff is giving people cancer.
Let's go to a popular conspiracy.
Yep.
The Simpsons.
Oh Christ! Right. On you go.
No. Look, the gym mats in McDonald's burgers, right? Do you know that's actually true?
What?
Yeah. The gym mats in McDonald's food, in like fast food joints that they showed on The Simpsons, there's truth to it. There's truth to
What's
it.
the truth? Yeah.
All right. Like gym mats. You know, the ones.
Well, maybe rubber,
the chemicals that are put into them to keep them firm.
Yeah.
No matter how much you slam against them. That same chemical is found in the McRib.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Heard that. Here's another one for you. Is everybody likes the cereal Lucky Charms?
Aye.
right? See the wee marshmallow things.
All right.
See the dye in them is exactly the same as weed all. Is the same ingredients as weed all, weed killer.
Mm-hmm. Actually,
It's
you want to
maybe
hear
lower
a little
levels,
interesting trick?
but it's
If you got
same
an,
with
if you got an ant problem, let out some Lucky Charms.
yeah.
Because the same chemicals in Lucky Charms are the same chemicals that often get produced by ants when they're close to dying. So when
Yeah.
ants smell this, they think that they literally make a graveyard. And
Yeah.
sometimes a perfectly healthy ant gets covered in this shit. All the
And
other
everyone thinks
ants
it's dead.
smells it. They don't realize that their friend's still alive. He just got some shit on him. They put him in the graveyard, and eventually even the ant thinks that he's a zombie.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. There's Dobby Socks. I gave McDee's up. I can I've not had a McDonald's in 9 years.
The most I've gone for McDonald's is a Sprite.
I will say this, I'm a sucker for like Starbucks and stuff like that. I will go in for like coffees and stuff like that, but I don't particularly like. I don't know. There's just something about. I don't know. I do like fish and chips and stuff like that. And you came to Scotland's like for fish and chip bars and stuff like that. And same with Ireland and stuff like that too. And England's the same. Yeah, I mean, but see, honestly, be very careful in what you eat now. Because then they've got all this genetically modified meat where they can grow it in labs. Okay, I mean,
And we're going to be seeing a lot more of that.
Yeah. They can actually take cells for a human and grow it.
Oh, yeah, that's been around for at least 10 years now. I remember seeing little startup adverts for a startup company. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but you could eat the meat of a celebrity.
Yeah.
You can have hamburgers and steak made from the same meat cells as certain celebrities.
Sylvester Stallone steak.
I believe Justin Timberlake was on the list of potential options.
As long as it's what's his name? What's that Canadian singer everybody hates?
Beaver?
What's his name? Beaver. Can you imagine getting a beaver steak? Fucking hell.
Yeah. But unfortunately, some of these fangirls, you'd have to wonder, I want him inside me!
There you go.
He doesn't exactly act like there's much to have inside you, but hey.
But this is the madness of this world, right? And this episode's turned out to just be a mixture of stuff. And I'm going to say this now. In 5 years' time, I think the world's got to be totally different. It truly is going to be totally different. We're probably got about a lot less people, mind you. There's probably going to be about 500 million, but something's coming. Why is the World Economic Forum go? The population must be around about 500 million by 2000 and what is it?
2025.
25, but how can that be? I mean, that's only like what? This is 23. That's only about a year and a bit.
It was like that's a little over. That's a year and 4 months, and it's like we got to talking about one of the times we had Dots on the show. When it comes to like ET sides things, you can just imagine they have issues with keeping track of time zones like we do around daylight savings. But clearly, some kind of date has been set for something to happen if they're pushing for that much of a population decline.
I think I know what's going to happen. I think I know with everything that's been going on, and
more
but if you start talking,
it's
no natural disasters. But look, even if there's a nuclear war, there'll still be about 3 billion people left on Earth.
Yeah.
So it's got to be really drastic. I mean, super drastic. I mean, ridiculously drastic. But you think about how many people's had the jibby jabby Jew on their arm, right? You think how many people have been vaccinated, right? As long as we've lost our monetization anyway, guys. If you want,
they're fighting us. Yeah, join the Patreon.
Join our Patreon or join our donations are welcome because they're taking money off is because we talk about this, but it has to be talked about because I'm not going to do in history as one of these folk that only want to be famous. Now, look at the people that have been vaccinated. Now, I'm sorry to say this, some of you shouldn't have been vaccinated. I'm unvaccinated. But you're unvaccinated, aren't you, Dakota? And I know there's a few people in the chat there that's unvaccinated, right? And I'm worried in case something's going to happen. I'm worried in case they're going to do something. Because there's been a lot of undertakers, like morticians, that have come out and said that when they've been like, Ken, how you get embalming? I don't think they do it in the UK. They do it because I ken Dobby kens about this. And the United States, when they've been doing the embalming, they've pulled out these big long blood clots.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've heard about that.
And they found by the tests. It's basically changed your molecular structure. It's some type of like a nanotechnology. That's what it is. But what happens if they're going to flick a switch and put a certain frequency out, and it's got to make everybody really, really real unwell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to be like, oh, there's the migrant virus. It's back and it's killing folk. And oh, there's a virus.
Well, they're already starting to push for the viruses again.
See, that's interesting because there's nobody saying that, right?
Again, about the 23rd.
I don't know.
You know, and a lot of those circles say that was actually the plan. To vaccinate as many people, basically make them render them,
and then fuck a switch,
taking time bombs, zombies go. It kind of converts them to either something that is wanting to come here, kind of like a situation like out of the movie They Live, or a mass extinction.
Would you think about it? I mean, I've seen the World Economic Forum. Have you seen how many people stay in the United States, Dakota? 180 million?
Something like that.
Well, they're wanting to do like 5 million or something stupid like that.
I know.
And the UK's, I think it's 74 million. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Please say in the chat. But they're wanting to do it like 6 million or something. Yeah. And it's the same. Look, I honestly think something's going to happen. I think they're going to flick a switch one day. They're going to put these pulses out. And it's
allegedly the plan was. Allegedly, those plans have been shut down. That's why the use of direct energy weapons, and kind of like the ones speculated, allegedly, just to keep the turf neutral for everybody who likes to get obsessive in our comment section. That's why we're probably going to be also seeing more natural disasters come up.
Yeah. I do think they're trying to start a war with China and Russia and stuff like that. And it's failing. Because I think China and Russia and that, they're sitting back and they're thinking, they know if they start a nuclear war, they're fucked. They're screwed. They know that.
Here's the thing. Immediately when we think of war, we think Call of Duty, right?
No.
Unfortunately, that's not how the war's being fought. The war's already here, but it's slow and steady. It
started a while ago.
Mostly in secrets. Sleeper cells for Russia, US, China have already been activated. And this is actually coming from CIA. That this information is coming from the CIA itself. The war has already started, but it's not going to be in the same traditional sense that everybody believes.
I think it's going to be. I'm going to say this. No, I don't think it's going to be nuclear weapons are going to be used because I don't think they'll be allowed to be used. To be honest with you, right? I think it will be stopped. Right, that will. But I do think it'll be a conventional war if it goes.
I don't even know where else we're going that far. I mean, look what's happening with MGM right now. The major casino branch that just had a major hack take place. You want to know what it took? Oh no! You want to know what it took in order to do that?
What?
It is widely believed that all the hackers did. They went on LinkedIn, started looking for someone who works relatively high up in MGM, but not high enough to cause a lot of concern.
Mm-hmm.
Got their information, figured out how they logged into their systems. They called into the internal tech support saying that,
Right.
hey, I'm having issues with my login. They were able to validate this guy's information enough for the MGM tech guy to say, all right, this is the same dude. Here's your info. Your password's been changed. That's all they did. All it was
dear.
a single phone call.
Oh dear. See, that's the problem. And this actually had a conversation with somebody this one day. We're so reliant on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
The internet controls everything. You think about it: Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. You think when you go to a shop, you pay with your card transaction. You talk about your phone. People play with their phone. People play with their smartwatches now. That's all internet controlled. Everything now. In the olden days, when you went to like doctor's surgery, the dentist or something like that, they would open a big book and they would put your name in, right?
Mm-hmm.
See now, it's all done by computer. See if the internet goes down. The whole system's fucked. And I'll tell you why it's fucked. The wind turbines are controlled by the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
The power grid would fail. Everything is controlled by the internet. It means two guys in a wee building about 120 miles away from a power station can control everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? If the internet goes down, everything's just got to go chaotic. The nuclear power stations are designed so as they shut down, right? But everything will just shut down. GPS will fail. The military GPS is hardened, so that'll last a wee bit longer. But everything will just fail. You kind of control the satellites. They'll start burning up in the atmosphere. That's how dependent we are on the internet. All they need to do is cut the Atlantic cables. The financial system would be gone within a couple of
Yeah,
hours.
you kidding me? Sharks are already trying to take those out.
Aye, and Russian submarines at the same time. They're
But here's the
actually
thing,
protected. There's nuclear submarines protecting the lines right now.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Did you hear that the U.S. tried to get Elon Musk to authorize them to be able to utilize Starlink in order to take out Russian submarines?
Yeah, I heard that. I heard something.
And
about
Elon
it.
said no.
Yeah.
They're not going to shut down the internet because they still need it.
Of course, they still need it.
I mean, can you consider all these young ass soldiers? They're not going to know what the hell to do if they got to shut down the internet in terms of warfare. They're going to render most of their soldiers useless.
Do you know how many soldiers do you think's died in Ukraine since the outbreak? In the Ukraine side, have a guess. And this is coming for good sources. This is coming for the CIA. This is coming for like what do you call it? This is coming for like retired generals and stuff like that. They've obviously got connections. How many people do you think died? How many people do you think died?
It should speak volumes. Motherfucker, shut up. It should speak volumes about how. No, I'm not. You're interrupting me. Fuck off. No, it should speak volumes that the news media is trying to say, oh, Ukraine's winning. Yet every major intelligence source is like, the fuck you talking about? They are losing miserably.
Yeah.
Russia's going to win that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it was on the TV here the other day there. And yes, I still watch live TV now and again. Oh, Britain sent an Abrams tank to Ukraine and it was blowing up. Look, we've lost a lot more. We're sending a lot more stuff there than you'd realise what we're sending there. Drew Lee, Nicole, hello. But anyway, do you know it's nearly 500,000? Do you know that? That's how many people they've lost. It's called the meat grinder.
Mm-hmm.
If 20 men go to the front, you'll be lucky if one makes it back.
Mm-hmm.
With his legs or arms. They might be missing a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Like,
It should also state that Ukraine's getting to the point where it's threatening to reach out and go after everybody who's pretty much bailed on
I've
the
seen that.
situation.
I've
I
seen
was
that.
like, how the fuck are you going to be able to track all those people down if your asses are already getting handed to you? I get it, you're desperate, but
I'm going to say this, and somebody will probably say, "Oh, you're racist," and all that kind of stuff. There's something going on in the UK the now with the amount of asylum seekers that are coming out here. It's getting ridiculous. I can see the point, and I'm not against it. But what I'm against is maybe a family, a mother and a father and their children coming out here and getting a house because of war-torn country, and they need that kind of thing. I mean, know the busloads, the thousands and thousands of young guys out of the age of 18. I mean, every one of them was like fighting age, soldier age, and we all know that there's something going on. There is something going on. Do you know that here in the UK, in England, actually, they're throwing out British soldiers' families out of their houses and military bases and giving those houses to the folk that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how fucked up is that? They're meant to be, they're our soldiers, and their families are getting chucked out their houses to give them their houses.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
And here's the
Our
thing:
government's
how
corrupt.
else
Everything's corrupt.
How else are these sleeper cells getting in?
They're just coming. They're coming across the channel.
These sleepers. These sleepers. They're trying to. Their whole goal is to blend in like average everyday citizens. Yeah. It's well known that quite a few of them managed to slip through. There's been a few that's been caught, but there's a few that managed to slip through these asylum programs. Yeah. I mean, where I'm at here in the States, the local college here is one of the biggest ones for like Arab countries, and we said all the time.
See, this is the problem. Everybody thinks this is a British problem, but it's no. It's happening in America too, ladies and gentlemen. You have no idea. I've got a friend that stays near the Texas and Mexican border, and they were telling me that the border forces out there have been told just to let them walk across. Just to let them walk across. Yeah. I mean, there's something going on. There is something going on.
Yeah.
But what? We don't know.
Well, when it comes to Mexico, it's the fucking cartels, man.
Yeah. Remember there was a civil war broke out in Mexico, and that seems to have all been covered up now. What happened there?
It's the government's trying to crack down on the fucking cartels. That's what that is. Dude. Okay. A friend of my mom's, she was telling us about this incident where one of her kids, they were just reading the paper, and they saw this story about a semi-truck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Filled with human organs.
That's what
and dead children.
Mm-hmm.
So that mother's sitting there having to try to explain to her young children, not even teenagers yet, why are people killing kids like that? A lot of these people don't want these asylum programs. And yeah, there's a lot of shit that gets stirred up from it. Wow. But you also don't realize the majority of these people are just trying to get their families safe.
No.
And right now,
look, I've actually met in my village. Sorry for interrupting. I actually met in my village. I was talking to them, and both their husbands have been killed in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And their sons have been killed there too.
Yeah.
With asylum seekers like that, yes, I say, give them a house, look after them, protect them, and stuff like that. But it's getting to the point now where they're coming out. Thousands are coming out. Mm-hmm. The world's fucked. It really is fucked. Everything's fucked.
Yeah.
Truly
We need
is.
a complete, total system overhaul in order to fix everything.
That's no good.
I know.
It's not going to stop it, and this is planned. This is planned. Oh, this is planned. I think honestly, I kind of got quite a conspiracy theory, but fuck it, I don't care. You think about it, right? Everybody's getting that jibby jab, right? Everybody's dropping down deed, right? See all these people that's coming out of here. I wonder if they've been vaccinated. Because imagine they weren't vaccinated, right? Everybody dropped down deed. Who's got to be the slaves of the rich and powerful that survive?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be the soldiers of the rich and powerful that survive? Do you know that the people that made that vaccination are not allowed to get the vaccination? The
Mm-hmm.
workers that made it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people don't realize. Some of the rich and famous don't even want people that's been vaccinated to fly their private jets because they ken people are just killing them. Look, I ken 36 people that have died since 2022 that have just dropped down dead, and every one of them's had a blood clot. I'm going to say this. Every one of them's had a blood clot. There's something going on. There is something going on. And it's... Yeah. And it's actually quite sad because you got all these conspiracy channels out there and they don't bring this up. They don't. And there is a few folk out there that's talking, you know. Hey, Chad Smith. But there is a few people out there. But it's sad. It really is sad that all these people care about is fame and money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Everybody knows. They don't want to admit it, but everybody knows something's not right about this whole vaccine thing.
I was talking to somebody the other day in my village, actually. I'm not going to say their name. And their friend worked at a research facility to do with vaccines. And when the vaccine first came out, the woman, she's a doctor, and this facility, it's a famous facility, it's actually in England, told her friends and family, do not in any circumstances get that vaccine. She lost her job. Like she was telling everybody, right? Look, see the polio vaccination, it took about 20 years for that thing to come out, or 10 or 20 years for that thing to come out, right? This was rushed. And this is a lot of people don't realize this too. That COVID vaccine, the patent for that COVID vaccination was made in 2015. See the testing kits that everybody got. Some of them had dates for 2017 on them, 2018 on them. So how did they kind of make them?
Hold on.
I know there's other strange COVID
No.
and stuff like that.
No. There's something else. Have you seen the video clip of a gentleman? He say he was former CIA. Basically the title of the video that usually goes something along the lines of "Dying Man in Black Confesses."
I think I've seen something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Basically, it was this gentleman who was recruited into the CIA. He fit the profile. He had no real major family connections, no real friends, nothing like that. Underwent a series of mind-altering drugs, all this shit. He said by 2017, and you gotta remember, Anthony Fauci started talking about some sort of global outbreak.
Yep.
By 2017, Bill Gates, there's videos from the 1950s that said it's been long been predicted that by the year 2020, 2020, there was going to be a major virus outbreak of something that would be very akin to the influenza pandemic that killed off a bunch of people almost 100 years ago. I mean, think about it. Historically speaking, roughly about 20 years into a new century, there's been some sort of plague. And the
That's
reason
interesting.
why there's so much around surrounding 2017 is that something happened right about there that forced them to push back by a few years.
Yeah. There's Football Factory.
That's a new one.
That's a new subscriber. Thank you for coming. It wasn't given enough time, rushed out, works okay against COVID, but big side effects for some people that they are trying to hush up. And yes, doctor, before anyone asked. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'll say it. A lot of the people who've been following this show for a while know that
He's a doctor. That
about it.
person's a doctor.
Okay, I don't know who the motherfucker is.
No.
I will say this. I just talk like that with everybody. Don't feel special. 1, 2. It was like a little over a year ago. Remember, I told you my grandmother actually had to go to the hospital because of a heart attack.
Yeah.
Right in the Widowmaker. She's survived. She's
Mm-hmm.
still going strong. That woman is too much of a battle axe to go down. The number of people that she knew got the vaccine. She had to do it because she was working at Walmart, and they were forcing all of their employees to get the vaccine. All of the people several people she knew who were in the very same line that she was, were also in the hospital the same time she was, all for our cardiac related issues. Some had strokes, some had heart attacks. Only one guy they could been wrote off as not being COVID related because apparently he liked to chug like 10 Red Bulls a day.
You
But
don't want to drink that stuff. It's bad for you.
And she asked while they're there, she knew she's seen all these people who got the vaccine around the same time she did. She asked the doctors, like, is it something about the vaccine that's doing this? Nothing. The doctors wouldn't say shit.
I'm going to say this too. Have you heard the theory? And maybe Dobby Sock in the chat can help me with this one. Have you heard the one saying maybe the Doctor Football Factory? I don't know if you know anything about this. And I've heard a lot of important people talking about this, but a lot of people, when they were in the hospital, were given high doses of this weird painkiller. And what it does is it restricts your breathing, and it basically euthanizes you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a few people that died for that, and I was talking to their son. Actually, one of them was their son. I'm not going to say who he was. I was talking to him, and he'd asked for the medical report, refused it, and he'd found out later on that they'd been given high levels of this, basically euthanizing them on the hospital. I'm telling you, look, it's been covered up. It's been covered up. There's been atrocities. You talk about the Germans and the Nazis in World War II. This is just ridiculous with what's been done here.
Where do you think we learned it?
Yeah. Nazis.
And first off, you also got to remember, and this is declassified information, so anybody can actually look this up.
I know.
I'll say this. No, this is not the first time something like this has happened. I believe it was back in the 1970s, where I believe the FBI was involved, that they were, for some reason, the government was taking human remains, specifically of young children, to experiment for reasons they're not 100% sure on, possibly for some sort of experimentation. But anytime the families would try to go get the bodies, say like a child died in an accident or they got real sick, and they would try to get the bodies, so they could bury them.
Yep.
The hospitals would refuse. It's because several doctors have been busted taking payments by dissecting these bodies and giving the parts to some unnamed party.
Yeah.
This is not the first time something like this has happened.
It's weird you should say that, because I was actually talking to somebody that kens an undertaker down south, and he would go to the hospital to pick up the kids that passed away, like the babies and stuff like that had passed away. And he went to pick them up one day, and he was told, "Oh, from now on, we've got our own cremation service." And he doesn't do it anymore. But he says, "I was sitting here with the family." He says, "We're doing it for you." And I think they're trying to cover. They know they're fucked up. I think the government know they're fucked up, and they're trying to cover it up. It's all going to come out. It will come out eventually, but I think half of the United Kingdom will probably be dead. It'll be too late. It'll be folk like us that are unvaccinated that are left. But maybe that's what there's all these people coming across the front is round all us up and put us in extermination camps.
That's why. That's why when it comes to declassifying government documents, the process is about 50 or 60 years after the events took place, because everybody who was involved is likely either dead or old and senile and close to death.
I will say this. I do think COVID was real. There was a virus, right? There was a virus because I got no wheel when I taken the test, but then again, the test could have been angry. I thought I was going to do it didn't affect my breathing in any which way. It just made me feel terrible. And I was unvaccinated. And then I was all right. Right. And I kind of look at people during the beginning that got COVID, they were unvaccinated, and didn't do nothing to them. It didn't kill them. It just made you feel terrible.
Yeah.
But what I have noticed, why is it, right? They say that everybody should be vaccinated, right? I'm just going to fucking go on at this. Everybody should be vaccinated, right? And the unvaccinated are, oh, you should be vaccinated because you're putting everybody at risk. If everybody's vaccinated, right, run about me, right? Well, how am I putting them at risk? And here's the interesting thing. You're more likely to catch COVID if you've been vaccinated. Why is that? Because your immune system's been fucked because of the stuff they've put in you. And it's a fucking disgrace.
There is a legitimate counter argument to this. It's a lot like if you were to go get a flu shot, then get sick right afterwards. The main reason they say that is because it was already in your system. And they just added to it.
Yeah.
There's
yeah. No, you go, sorry.
Yeah, the Wuhan respiratory coronavirus lab. Gee, yeah. I wonder why people wonder where the hell that happens. It's a lot like if there was a. It's a lot like if there's been a chocolate spill in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And they try to say, oh, someone broke in and they raided the grocery store. I'm sorry, Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's a fucking chocolate factory. They're trying to put a Hershey factory not too far from me, actually.
Right. Look, it was planned. There's evidence coming out that I don't even know if I should say this. Probably disappeared one night. But the Chinese were the ones that made that COVID virus. They were paid. They'd got that for somewhere else. They were paid.
They were researching
by US governments and British governments and all this. And it's the same with Ukraine. It's the same in the Ukraine. They're doing it there too. There's biolabs in Ukraine and all that too, along with child where they're cutting up bodies and selling the body parts to places. Come on, guys, wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee, guys. You have no idea how corrupt your government is. The British government, the American government, the Canadian government, the French government. You have no fucking idea how corrupt these people are. Okay, I'm amazed that this will be left. I bet this gets taken down. Do you think it'll get taken down? Because we're talking about
I'm shocked. I'm shocked we haven't had more takedowns. To be completely honest with you. But then again, that's probably because of how we have this whole thing set up.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, whoever you are that like to take people's videos down, we're going out to multiple different locations. Good luck finding that.
Exactly. So in case there's any, I guess I will say this because we just had to have this conversation. In case there's anybody who does go on a rant and that may be legally advised against, just remember that. And it's kind of hard for us to take them down for how far out we make sure to spread this.
Yeah. So please, everybody in the chat, share wide. And if you've got the abilities, please feel free to download a copy. You get what I mean? Feel free.
No, it's not that hard these days.
No, feel free to take a copy of this and share it among your friends and family and tell them to duplicate it. Look, they can't shut everybody up. it's going to come out. I know doctors out there and that have lost their practices because they've come out and said about this. Right? It can't be. And Dobby Sock there in the chat, she does quite a lot with this stuff, and it's so sad that our government is so corrupt. The world's government is so corrupt. And even I'm going to mention the name of the president, like Trump, for instance. Even he I ken he's a bit of an idiot, but even he's come out and said there's something going on. That honestly, I think he's found out what's really going on.
Well,
it's
a lot
ridiculous.
like how Trump would say in the debates he knows something's fucked up in the system because he uses the same system.
What's that with the football factory? That's interesting. A year before the Coca League, there was a World Army Games. Did you hear about the attack from the US Army on the Chinese? I did not hear about that.
I think I've heard something about that one, but it quickly disappeared.
Like everything else.
Yeah.
Nothing isn't surprising anymore. Exactly, Dobies.
I know. And unfortunately, because of how many people are fighting the vaccine, they're looking into how to distribute it among the food supply.
Yeah, they're putting it into food, and that's why I'm saying don't buy the burgers at 5 cents a burger or 50 pence a burger at McDonald's. Well, Football Factory, thank you. We will look that up after. Go look it up. We will. It's fucking shocking. It really is.
I mean why do you think Trump has so many indictments going against him right now?
Trump's got many indictments because they know because the people that's really in charge know that if Trump gets back in power, they're fucked because he will go after them. He will round them all up.
Trump has so many indictments in order to try to dissuade the people to basically put him in power because they know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right now the bet's going between Trump and Robert Kennedy.
Robert Kennedy's all right. I mean, but then again, he'll open up a can of worms because he'll want to find out what happened to John F. Kennedy, won't he?
Yeah.
But also in The Simpsons, bringing up The Simpsons again, The Simpsons predicted the president would be shot. So,
well, it should also be considered, I don't know if it's been corrected since then, but Robert Kennedy was also talking about how not too long ago, he was being denied bodyguard Secret Service for running for president. And it's standard protocol for every presidential candidate to have protection.
To be purely honest with you, I don't trust any of them now. I just don't trust any of them anymore. The health system is corrupt. Everything is corrupt. And all this climate bullshit that's coming out and all putting cars speed zones down 20 mile an hour, they put the speed limit down there. 20 mile a fucking hour in a 30 zone. And they're wanting to put it down to 20 zones down to 10 mile an hour. Have you heard that? It's ridiculous. And like, you can your car will actually produce more harmful CO2 going slower. Mm-hmm. Honestly, what's this here? The Football Factory. US soldiers came home sick from China, or did go sick in the first place? See, that's interesting. That
as someone who's spent time in a Chinese hospital, I'll just say it does not take much.
You get the private hospitals, though. You get the private ones that are like.
In China, oh hell no. The medical care in China is one of their least priorities.
No.
I will say I've personally been in a Chinese hospital. It was one of the most horrifying experiences of my life.
What's that's interesting because Dobby Sock can't see Football Factory's comments. I don't know why that is. Must be a different channel on. Must be on a different channel. See, that's what the thing is. We've got so many different channels. So even if they take this down,
if they take one down, several more take its place.
And then we just copy and put it back up again.
It's like we have the YouTube, we have the Facebook, we have the Twitters, we have our own streaming services coming up. We had the Spreaker, we had the Spotify, we had the iHeartRadio. We're damn near on every major platform now.
Yeah. It's please, people, wake up. Don't be afraid to say against the government. Maybe they don't want you saying against the government. Maybe they're like, ooh, we're coming to get you. Ooh. Well, that kind of thing. Fuck them. If everybody stands up against it, it'll stop it. I'm not saying have a revolution or anything like that. Or
It's going to have to come down
it's
to it.
it's going to have to come to the. Why do you come to that? It's no liable myself. It's look. It's going to come to the part where the British people, the American people, the Canadian people, the Australian people, everybody is going to have to stand up and say that's enough is enough. And if it means getting a new government, so be it. Enough is enough. But see the people, they know that they're going after because they're actually making a difference. They're actually physically going after. You see what's happened to that Russell Brand?
Oh, yeah.
They're saying, oh, he was raping people and he was pillaging and doing all this kind of stuff and that. No, that wouldn't have happened to him if he'd stuck with them and did everything they wanted to do.
You have to take into consideration about how every major historical figure in recent history has had FBI files built against him. Marilyn Monroe, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, fucking Jimi Hendrix.
I know.
Every major figure that is able to gain a wide enough spread audience gets profiled by the FBI as a potential threat.
Have you ever heard the conspiracy theory with Jimi Hendrix?
What's that?
That he's Morgan Freeman.
They do look alike.
Aye, I'm serious. They say that you came at folk alive. They say Elvis is still alive now. Dobby Sock, I've got it now, Chris. What
I was about to say, if Elvis was still alive, he's pushing 100, ain't he?
Hey, mama. But look,
yeah, because there's a certain janitor around there that has a little too much going on with him right now. That you have to wonder.
What's that? Once, for starters, farmers should be allowed to make their own decisions instead of the EU. Again, Britain's meant to have left the EU, but we're still getting bossed about with them.
I was about to say, I thought, what, did Brexit finally die down? I mean, what the hell happened there?
I've got friends, farmer friends, and there's fields all around about me, and they're all empty. They don't grow it. They used to grow barley and stuff in them and wheat and stuff, but they've not grown anything this year. They're all overgrown. And I actually says to one of them, I says, why planting anything or putting anything on them? And he says, oh, the EU's giving us subsidies, we're giving us money to keep them, we're not to plant anything. It's for bees and stuff like that. Football factory. There's no money for nothing. Everything is cutbacks. The schools, hospitals, the police. It's simple that power's alive, high off the hog. Exactly. Look, what is money? Nowadays, what is money? It's made up. The government print it, right? If they need merit, they just print more. Think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's kind of the issue behind inflation right now.
Yeah. I mean, they're going on about how everything's going to collapse with the financial system and that. Why don't they just reset it and start that again?
Because I want, for those of you who don't understand why, take a little rock, yay big.
Yeah.
Build a house on top of that.
Right.
Build a full scale, I'm talking not like a little Lego house, a full size house.
Yeah.
See how well that stands.
Well, we'll stand for very long. Tupperware at one side for a start.
Exactly. Only 5 to 10% of the world's money is physical currency.
Yeah, it's all controlled, and they're wanting to bring in this digital currency.
Exactly. So it's even Be more
Did you see it coming out
make-believe.
of China? Did you see it coming out of China where they've got this digital currency already? And there was one woman talking about it, and because she stood out of line and said something she shouldn't have, they shut her bank account down and wouldn't let her buy anything.
China would do that.
Right? But they're actually talking about out here, and this might sound good for everybody. They're wanting to bring in a universal basic income of £1,650 a week. No, a month for free. It's a month, so it's 1,600
Yeah,
for every
I've
person.
heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it
Right.
being experimented with, and it's actually doing
Aye,
pretty well.
Aye. So imagine everybody gets £1,600 a month. You can be a multi-millionaire. You can be working 7 days a week. You will still get that money, right? You don't have a job, you can still have that money, right? But there's control with that. When they bring in the CBD system, right? What's going to happen is you're like, oh, I need to go and visit my sister. Just hypothetically, I'm making something up here. I'm going to go and visit my sister. I've not got a sister, by the way. I'm just making this up. So I'm going to go and visit my sister or my brother somewhere, right?
It's like, I thought you said you had a sister.
No, I don't have a sister. I've got 2 brothers, right? I'm going to go and visit my brother. I need to go and put petrol in the car. I go to put petrol in the car and they're like, oh, you've already filled your car up twice this week. You've had enough of your allowance. You can't spend your money. Or when you drive out a certain point, when you drive out your village a certain point, right, your bank card, your CBD currency doesn't work. And then that's where the 15-minute cities come in, because then you walk everywhere and you only buy what they allow you to buy. So if you're in that 15-minute city and your card only works in that 15-minute city, the shops could only stock certain things. So if you fancied a chocolate bar, a Mars bar, you wouldn't be able to get one. Because as soon as you went outside that 15 minute zone, you'd be fucked.
Well,
that's how it all works.
Over here in the U.S., the Hershey factory will probably figure out some way to lobby.
Mm-hmm. What's that? They want to reset, but they don't need all of us. Football factory. Dobby Sock, have you noticed our trees are not as beautiful colours they used to be? Not as much welding. I have noticed that.
Yeah, it's happening over here too.
Yeah. It's as if the planet kens if something's happened.
I mean, look how quickly wildlife returned when everybody was under lockdown. The planet knows something's up.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just... This is kind of going into the spiritual territory, but the planet is far from just some big dumb rock in space. It knows.
It's alive.
There's a level of sentience.
Of course there is. It's been here for trillions of years. Yeah, I mean, it's been here for a very, very long time. Nobody really knows what's at the core of the earth and all that. Nobody really knows what's there. I've had guesses and tried to drill.
Yeah, we can have it. It's like we can have educated guesses because of what we can do here on the surface, but that's about it.
I mean, we believe space is empty and void and full of radiation in the air and stuff like that because that's what they've taught us. But it could be totally different. It could be totally, absolutely, completely, and utterly different. We're just going by what folk have taught us when we went to school and stuff, or what we see.
I know. Unfortunately, like people have said before, while there is a basis in truth in all of it, we also have so much counter information coming at us at the same time. We can't necessarily trust anything anymore. We don't know who to trust.
Well, that's actually interesting what the Smith family say. And I'm going to put a point to this. They've started to grow their own food so we don't have to pay for stores and prices. But here's an interesting thing. Have you seen all that? And it's been happening in America quite a lot. A lot of people growing their own produce, right?
And the government's coming in to stop it.
No, just that. They've been waking up the next day because somebody's poured poison all over their plants.
You know, there was actually an incident. If I remember, it would actually be closer to Smith family, where it was like this community garden thing. They grew all this fruit and produce. Yeah, help the homeless. Someone spread salt all over the ground.
Yeah, that was
someone salted the lands.
That was here in the UK, and somebody poured salt.
There was one in the
but,
US too.
Yeah, there's one in the US. It was a community garden, and it would have fed everybody in the community, but no anymore because they killed it all. They had to buy from the
It
supermarket.
is. There is a way around it to where you can ingrain the salt and actually make the ground a little bit more viable, but
No, I
still.
take the top layer off and that. Football factory. Something has been killing the honeybees the last 15 years, and don't hear much about it. I have heard that too.
Yeah, but you hear about it, but here's the thing. It also gets to the point where they realize people aren't paying attention, so they stop saying something.
But nobody wants to say anything anymore because they're feared in case they put somebody's nose out of joint. That's what's wrong with it.
They're feeling judgment.
The point where the galaxy where is now the phone provides where deep core ice is drilling has proven that.
Well, some of the aliens have said that the planet is kind of like the equivalent of a nature preserve because it was so far out on the edge of the galaxy. So maybe
that's interesting with the broken on the football factory. Sorry, bring that up. Football factory.
Yeah.
Can you bring it up because it's not letting me? There we go.
It was bringing
Football
it up.
Factory. My dad has been in hives. He says that the mites that are resisting treatment, so that's obviously genetically modified mites.
Well, sometimes they can naturally build up their own immunity.
Or naturally build up a thing. But I mean, it's look, the world's messed up. Something dramatically needs to change. I honestly wish an alien race would just come down here and take over for about 10, 20 years and fix the place, because that's what it's needing. But obviously they can, because obviously we have to try and fix these things ourselves.
Because if they go to take over and fix it for us, we're going to expect them to do it again when we fuck up.
Yep. I mean, again, that their technology is that advanced. If we manage to do it ourselves, they can help us reclaim this planet back. But we need to start doing it, guys. We need to start standing up for our rights and stuff like that. There is people doing it, but a lot of folk out there are just too paranoid. Oh, I don't want to, because then I'll not be able to go to Facebook because I'm banned.
Exactly.
And I can't play Candy Crush with my pals.
Yeah, and here's the thing. And we see it all the time with some of the guests we have on our show. They have physical death threats.
No.
I've seen it myself. They have physical death threats being manipulated by some fucktard that clearly has some sort of obsession. You would think this motherfucker is getting angry because he owes this chick alimony.
Are we talking about Elena here and the people that
That's
are
one of them. There's one of them. She's not the only one.
And then Danny's getting attacked too.
Yeah, I know. To where we had to take down the interview with her.
What do you mean by to take the interview down?
Danny asked me to take down the interview she did with us because of the shit that's going on.
Why? I never cared about that.
Well, it's hard to actually get you to talk to me lately.
We'll talk about that after the show.
Yeah.
To go because that's private.
It's getting
but that just shows you.
Yeah.
They're fucked. The younger generation, they're too stupid to even do it. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's part of the plan.
Some of them are all right. Some of them are idiots. It's got to be that. It's got to be that ideology where the guy wakes up in the future and everybody's an idiot.
Yeah, idiocracy.
Yeah, it is. That's it. I sometimes feel like that sometimes because I go outside and I see the complete idiots. I seen a guy one day, he was on his phone and he walked out in front of all the traffic. Everybody's screeching at a halt and didn't even look.
That's why he had to install lights in the ground at their crosswalks because there's so many people getting hit because they were playing on their phones.
I have taught Linda Smith family to handle herself, so let someone try. But the thing is, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there that are just disappearing off the face of the earth.
And there's several that are all of a sudden getting all the praise.
Yeah. A lot of fake ones are getting it. Because let's face it, there is fake folk. There's fake folk
Yeah,
with paranormal, there's
there's
fake
a
folk
lot
with
of
UFOs.
yeah, no, we called out some individuals, and ironically, you started having people trying to hack into your Facebook
Yep.
shortly after
Somebody
that
had
episode.
tried to
Now,
hack
didn't
into my
you?
somebody had
Didn't
tried to,
ya?
that's right. Somebody tried to hack into my Facebook, but luckily I've got it highly secured.
Oh well, we already have the name.
I've got the name and I've reported it to Facebook. So we'll have to wait
Whether or
and see
not
what happens.
Facebook actually does anything is one thing.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for that dude's poor wife.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always the ugly ones.
I know. But anyway, do we have anything planned for next week? Or are we having a weekend off? Or because you'll be going to your big event soon. You'll be going to the UFO event with all the aliens.
Well, yeah, I'll be down in Orlando.
You know,
and that's not until the 20th of October. But next week we don't really have anything planned, so maybe we'll just take a break to get caught up because apparently I'm the only one doing any work around here. You're my co-host. You should be helping me.
Lawrence, I'll try and find some guests then. I'll try and find some guests.
If you got
Lawrence,
somebody.
oh, crazy. Somebody tried to hack in at my Facebook.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Luckily I've got it set up so you have to send like to my phone, you've got to have my mobile number set up on. And the idiot used his own name. What a complete idiot. But there you go. That's a story for another time, as Mike the Naked Bigfoot would say. And he's in the chat because I have reported it as hacking.
Yep.
So there you go.
Obviously, that weekend after the Bald and Bonkers anniversary, we'll probably have that night of. I don't know if Chris plans on doing anything, but I'm just gonna be away from home base that weekend. So
because you'll be in Orlando, jigging away, won't you?
Oh.
Football Factory. I was in the TA and training in Norway when we seen the UFOs, and we were told to shut up. It was the US Air Force and fancy technology.
I've heard several soldiers say that.
Hey, Football Factory, you should post your link in the chat because your channel looks quite interesting. Which channels are coming through?
I don't know. You already know my connection sucks, so I can't have 1,000 tabs open at once while we're trying to stream. But I will say this: we do have a new book that's getting ready to come out on October 15th. It's called "Are You Afraid of Ghosts?" It's a starter guide to ghost hunting. Goes through like several cultures, beliefs on the afterlife. Then helps you get started on getting out into the field. If you subscribe to our $10 tier on Patreon, you can actually get a copy of that book, a digital copy, I should say, of the book for free. That's available now, and you don't have to wait till October.
Yeah. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And we might be doing something at Halloween for Mike. We don't know yet. On the TV network, replaying his shows.
Maybe.
I actually watched the other one the night, so I'm actually going to watch one the night actually, because it's coming up to many past.
Because you also got to remember, while I'm staying, I wanted to do something for Mike too. It is the year anniversary, and he was a good friend of ours. I do work that night, so don't try to be signing me up for too much shit.
Fine. We're going to send you in one of the most haunted locations he's went to, and you could go and investigate it with your camera in a live stream. I'll sit in the command center, and make sure everything's fine.
I would not trust you with my equipment.
You'll be fine. You ever react?
No.
You ever react?
No, motherfucker. You got a girlfriend now. You need to start toughening up to impress your lady.
It's fine. It's fine.
She realized you have a tiny.
Honestly, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah. It is what it is, and he is trying to fucking change my name.
No, I'm not. Would I do such a thing? I would never ever do that.
You are a dirty liar, and we should probably go off the air.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you see Bald and Bonkers for even more insanity. Be sure to spread the love to the Bald and Bonkers Boys' other endeavors. And a special thank you to our audience, guests, and everyone else who helps make this crazy ride happen. Amazing things are ahead. Learn more by visiting www.baldandbonkers.net. See you next time. Much love and take care.